Welcome to this LinkedIn audio session, Digital Records 101, EMR Implementation, and Leadership Strategies. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your EMR is working against you? Your team is frustrated, appointments run late, billing gets stuck in a cycle of errors, patients feel the tension. The system that was supposed to make life easier has not, and now you're wondering, was this even worth it? I get it, I've been in rooms where healthcare leaders feel they made the wrong decision. They chose an EMR, rolled it out, and expected things to get better, and instead they got chaos. But here's the truth. The truth is technology doesn't fix broken workflows, leadership does. I'm Samantha Stewart, CEO of Occiden and Company, and today we're going to change the way you look at EMR transformation. This isn't just about picking the right software. It's about leading digital change the right way. I recently spoke with a clinic that had switched EMRs 3 times in 5 years. Every time they thought the problem was the software. Every time they were wrong. The real issue: leadership, workflows that didn't adapt, staff that never truly got on board. And they're not alone. Across Alberta, clinics are wasting thousands of dollars on tech that doesn't solve their real problems. What happens when EMR transitions fail? Thousands lost in revenue leaks. That can look like billing errors, unclaimed reimbursements, inefficiencies, high staff turnover because frustrated employees leave, patient trust erodes. They notice when care feels disorganized. If you keep running your clinic the same way, nothing will change. But today, we're talking about how you can lead differently. Too many clinics treat EMR implementation like a one-time project. They install it, train staff once, and move on. Then 6 months later, they wonder why no one is using the system properly. The reality: EMR success isn't about installation. It's about continuous improvement. If you don't fix broken workflows, your EMR will only amplify inefficiencies. The best clinics optimize and refine their EMR every quarter, not once every few years. And here are the key leadership factors. The leadership role isn't to manage an EMR, it's to lead through a digital transformation. The leader sets the tone for how the team embraces digital workflows. Half the role for a leader in EMR implementation is recognizing that an EMR system isn't a magic solution. The real solution is leadership-driven workflow optimization, knowing how to align EMR goals with long-term clinic success, creating training strategies to ensure long-term adoption and compliance. The other half is how to get your staff buy-in. Usually with the psychology of influence, we know that people follow leaders, not technology. How do you position your EMR as a tool for making work easier and not harder? And how do you communicate the right incentives to encourage participation? How to lead EMR transformation the right way. Step 1. Get the team on board early. Your team needs to believe that this is for them and not just another admin headache. Frame the why in their language. Instead of, this will make our operations better, say, this will cut your time in half. Find early adopters within your team and let them advocate for the new system. Step 2. Fix workflows before automating them. If your front desk is struggling with scheduling, don't expect an EMR to fix it. Fix the workflow first and then digitalize it. Step 3. Train beyond the basics. Most clinics that I'm seeing, train their team just enough to get by, but the high-performing clinics use their EMR's full potential. That's going to look like setting up monthly optimization sessions, using data analytics to track where staff are struggling, and rewarding efficiency. Turn compliance into a win and not a punishment. Alright, how do we overcome common objections? Okay, how do we overcome we already tried that, it didn't work? I hear this all the time, but the issue isn't EMRs, it's how they're rolled out. The good news is that you don't need a new system, you just usually need a new strategy. Another objection, our staff won't adapt, our staff won't do it. Listen, people resist change when they don't see the benefits. And your role as a leader is to show them how this will make their lives easier. It's for them. And then another objection is that it's too expensive to fix now, which I understand, but sometimes you gotta ask yourself, what's more expensive, optimizing your EMR now or continuing to lose thousands of dollars in inefficiencies? I'm gonna let you think about that. We're getting to that place in the program where we want to start asking some questions, right? Or answering some questions, sorry. And I prepared a list of some of the most frequently asked questions I get. And if you had any additional, you can just add it in the comment section for those that are listening live. Okay. Why do so many EMR rollouts fail? Okay, it's because most people, when I realize plan their EMR rollouts, it's not because of the software, it's that there's no clear roadmap for implementation. So with that poor planning, you also get lack of staff buy-in. Because if people don't trust or understand the system, they won't use it properly. And then from there, you get unoptimized workflows. So if your clinic's processes are inefficient, an EMR will really only magnify the problem. And then the final is that it's usually just like a one-time training, Learning an EMR is not a single event, let me tell you, believe you me. It needs continuous improvement. It's continuously nurtured. Our clinic already has an EMR, but we still have issues. Sam, how do we fix it? Great question. EMR optimization is an ongoing process, not a single setup, and here's how you improve it, okay? 1, identify your bottlenecks. That's going to be the biggest thing. Where is your team struggling? Is it in scheduling? Is it in billing? Is it in data entry? Once you do that, automate and simplify. You know, are you using all of the features your EMR offers? Most clinics only use 30 to 40% of their EMR's full capabilities. Okay, after you do that, step 3, train and support your team. Regular EMR check-ins, staff feedback, prevent system stagnation, okay? And then finally, use data analytics, my favorite. Your EMR tracks hidden inefficiencies. Use reports to spot gaps in productivity. How do we get our staff to actually use the EMR correctly? Okay. Resistance is natural, here's how I find the best way to overcome it. Show the why in their language and how it makes sense to them. So, instead of being really technical, operations this, say that, just be like, you know what, sir, this is gonna save you 10 minutes per patient. Just like that. Think about all the things that you can do with your day with those 10 minutes, okay? You're going to want to turn early adopters into champions, spot them out, identify a few team members who like the EMR, who like the changes, let them help train others, build momentum, gamify adoption, that's my favorite, offer small incentives for milestones, if you reduce your time, if you increase your bookings, all of these fun things, then, here's a little treat to show us that we appreciate you and that you're on the right track to success. And that's going to really tie into regular check-ins. It could be every month. Sometimes you don't need every month, really. It depends on how your workflow structure is with your team. But on a regular basis, that works for you and works for them. What's slowing you down, buddy? Find that out. Find out what's slowing them down and adjust the workflow accordingly. What if we've tried multiple EMRs and none of them have worked? Okay, if every EMR you've tried has failed, the issue isn't the software, it's the implementation approach. You want to think, did your team have a say in the rollout process? People usually support what they help build. Were workflows updated before the transition? Because, a broken process stays broken even in a digital system. And did leadership actively drive adoption? If the system isn't embraced from the top, staff won't follow. And the good news is that you don't need a new EMR. You need a better transition strategy. And that's what today's session is all about. How can I measure whether our EMR is actually improving efficiency? You can track these 5 EMR success metrics. These are my favorite. You're going to want to see time per patient encounter. Are doctors spending less time on documentation? Claim rejection rate. Are billing errors decreasing? Staff satisfaction. Do employees feel like the system is helping them or making their job harder? Patient wait times. Are visits becoming smoother? Task completion speed. Are charting, scheduling, and follow-ups happening faster? If you're not measuring, you're guessing. This is a question that I get all the time, and I actually love it. Because I'm a person that's detail-oriented, hence the nature of my work. And the question is, what's the difference between implementing and optimizing an EMR? Okay, implementation is setting up the EMR, onboarding staff, and then going live. Optimization is continually improving the system based on real world use. Most clinics stop at implementation, and that's why they struggle. The best clinics refine their EMR every quarter to make sure it's actually working for them. Why is leadership the key to EMR success? Because a great EMR does not automatically create a great system, but a great leader does, and here's why. Leaders set expectation. If leadership doesn't emphasize proper use, teams won't take it seriously. Leaders drive engagement. Teams need a champion who can show how the EMR benefits them. And leaders create a culture of improvement. The best clinics make their EMR a dynamic, evolving system, not a static tool. If your team is struggling with your EMR, it's time for a leadership-driven approach. And that's what we help clinics do every day. And then lastly, one of the most popular is, how do I know if we need help improving our EMR, Sam? How do I know? All right, you can ask yourself this. Are team members frustrated when they have to use a system? Are you still relying on paper for workarounds? Ooh. Is billing taking longer than it should? Is scheduling confusing or inefficient? And have you had no structured EMR review in the last 6 months? If you answered yes to any of these questions, your EMR is due for an optimization strategy. I'm just saying, let's talk. You are one decision away. We work with clinics across Canada to help streamline EMR transitions, improve workflows, and build leadership-driven digital strategies. The best clinics, they don't wait for change, they lead the change. And right now, you are one decision away from making your EMR work for you and not against you. Listen to me. Here is what you do next. 1. Look at your EMR. Ask yourself, is it making my clinic more efficient or less? 2. You commit. Commit to optimizing at least one workflow this month. And 3. Don't do it alone. Let's strategize together. Book a consultation before your clinic falls behind. This isn't about technology. It's about leadership. The clinics that win, they take action. And I hope you do too. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.